Here's a quick tip on when you have a fig plant that isn't putting out a lot of growth. So take for instance this hardy Hartford. I picked it up from a nursery, local nursery here in Seattle. It looked pretty weak. I mean, this is how much growth it put out pretty much all summer. So I was like, okay, what's the best thing to do? Let's air layer it instead of chopping it off. Typically what I would have done, normally on a plant that's not putting out a lot of growth, I would have just cut it where I wanted to have the branching start and discard the top or try to root the top. I went ahead and air layered this guy and it's put out some pretty decent roots. As you can see here, it's already put out a lot more growth where I air layered, or sorry, where below the air layer than it has up here. So I don't know how long this thing's looked like this, but partially could be that it was root bound for a real long time. So if you look at these roots, you can see that it's kind of entwined. I probably should go in there and just kind of cut it and let it start all over. But eventually these new branches will pick up. The roots will find the new soil that I put around the original 1 gallon, and it should pick up. So if you got a fig tree that's going a little bit stagnant, hasn't put out any growth, first check the roots, then 2, go ahead and start over and let it push out some new branches. So let's cut this guy. Okay. Alright, let's cut that off. Definitely didn't want it to drop like that, but I'm working with one hand, so pretty decent roots. Should make a pretty nice plant. Alright, so let's cut the twist ties, or let's see how this guy looks. Alright, need to do this with 2 hands. So I bought this plant when I went to Sky Nursery up in Northgate. It's called a hardy Hartford, and now I couldn't find a whole lot in terms of information about this particular variety. My guess is it's probably similar to something like a Chicago Hardy, or Black Bethlehem, or one of those, or even what you call the Mount Etna types. So it's pretty good looking root ball. Love that. And I forget when I started that exactly, but it was most likely, it was kind of a warmer month, so I think it was July. Today is September 11th, of all days. Slow release fertilizer. Okay. And there it is. That's an up-potted hardy Hartford fig plant.